Welcome to AI Code with Suresh, your one-stop channel to learn coding, AI and real-world projects step by step. Today we are starting Day 1 CSS, 30 days of CSS series, how to build the structure of any web pages from the basics to professional layouts. But that is just the beginning. Here is the full learning journey we have planned for you. Web basics, we will start with HTML, then move into the CSS for styling, and JavaScript for adding life and interactivity. And another step and phase 2, we are going to deep into data structure and algorithm using C++, Python and JavaScript together. So you can strengthen your problem solving skills for interviews and real world projects. Now we will move on to the day 1 topic, introduction to CSS, in which syntax and selectors will be a major part, which is actually understand what CSS is and why we use it, know CSS syntax, apply basic selectors and style HTML implements, and link external CSS. And these are the topic list for this day 1. What is CSS? Why CSS, how CSS works, CSS syntax, types of CSS, and linking CSS to HTML, CSS selectors introduction, and element selector, ID selector, class selector, grouping and say universal selectors, combining selectors. These are the topic we'll be covering today. Welcome to day 1 of CSS3. CSS is what makes our web pages look beautiful. HTML gives structure like bones, and CSS adds skins, colors, and personality. It defines how elements are displayed on screen. Imagine updating 100 pages just to change one color. Painful, right? CSS solves this by separating design from content. One CSS file can change the entire site. The term cascading means when multiple rules target the same element, the most specific one wins. Inline styles override internal and internal override external. Slide 4, CSS Syntax Explained. Every CSS rule starts with a selector. What do you want to style? Then comes the curly braces containing properties and values. Always end line with a semicolon. So types of CSS. CSS can be written directly in HTML tags, inline, inside a style block, that is internal, or in a separate file is the external. For large projects, external CSS is always preferred. So 3 ways you can write CSS. One is inside the HTML, another one is using style within the style tag, you can write it, that is internal, and separate file like styles.css you can externally attach to the HTML. So 3 ways it can be written. Linking CSS to HTML. For that, link rel equal to style sheet, href equal to style.css, and close hook. So this way you have to link your styles, that is CSS, into the HTML. To connect your CSS file with HTML, use the link tag inside the head section. Always check your path. It's one of the most common beginners' mistakes. CSS selectors. Selectors are like filters. They pick specific HTML elements for styling. Let's look at each one. Here the selectors are element, ID, class, grouping, universal. Okay, let us see one first element selector. Element selector is written in color green. This is the example of element selector. An element selector directly styles all occurrences of an element, like all p tags, simple but powerful. Now, ID selector. ID selector start with hash symbol. Hash title is the ID selector, and you can give the color blue, text align center, and within the braces. Then you have to attach to the HTML like ID equal to title. That is using h1 tag we can link it. An ID selector starts with a hash symbol. It targets one unique element with that ID. Remember, IDs must be unique per page. Class selector. Class selector always start with .red. That is dot. They are reusable. Multiple elements can share the same class. Class selector starts with a dot. They are reusable. Multiple elements can share the same class. Here you see .red is a class selector, and it is defined property is color equal to red. So it can be reused in any of the places of the HTML. That is one or more items can be linked to that. Grouping and universal selector. You can group selectors using commas to apply the same style to many elements. The universal selector, that is actually star, applies to everything on the page. It means if you apply star, it applies to everything on the page. See the example, x1, x2, x3, color is navy. It means h1 and h2, h3 headers are linked with the color navy. And star margin padding. Margin is 0 and padding is 0. It means it applies to all in the HTML file. Combining selectors. We can combine selectors to target specific element inside others. For example, this targets only paragraphs inside div tags. You can see div tag and within the color purple, and you are using that p tag must be purple in color like that. So quick summary. What is CSS? CSS syntax we have seen, and linking CSS we have seen, and basic selectors we will see. Let us see it is in action. We will see it in live demo right now. Before we end, test your understanding with these quick questions. Try to answer these 3 questions and put it in the comments box. Thank you. Welcome to the demonstration for the day 1 of CSS3. We will move on to the demonstration straight away for the day 1 CSS3. Hi coders, welcome to the demonstration format of an HTML page, in which you can see this is the HTML is the root tag, and it ends with backslash HTML. Okay, within the HTML there are 2 tags, 2 sections in fact, head section and body section. Okay, there is some purposes for head and body. Body section, whatever content you want to display, either images or text or contents, it should be inside the body, then only it appears. Okay, simply you see here I'm just typing hello world. Okay, I'm simply typing here, I'm just here, refresh it, see hello world is coming. So whatever content inside the body, that will be displaying here. Okay, now inside the head tag you can write the title, and you can write some comments. Okay, you can write even scripts. Okay, let us just title tag, this is the closing the title tag, and you see I'm just saving it here, run it. You see this is practice.html, right? When you refresh it, you see this is the title for the web page, HTML CSS learning as page. Okay, simply save it, HTML CSS. So HTML CSS learning, the title name is appearing here. Okay, then hello world, whatever the inside the body, what are the contents, it's showing here. Okay, so HTML CSS learning, the title. For comment, you have to use this. Whatever write within this will not be displayed there. I'm just see here, this is lots of hints or procedures or guidelines, whatever it is, of the web page. See, this much I have written, I saved it. You see, it will not display here. So whatever you write here, this is a hint page. So I'm writing here types of CSS. 1, inline method. 2 is internal method. 3 is external method. 1, inline. First thing you will see inline method. Inline method using p tag or h1 tag. First thing you will see inline method, tag or div tags. You can write inline method within the these are the tags. Internal method, using internal method within the style tag, the designing or return under head tag. Okay, now external method. External method is nothing but having separate file within the style tag, the styles.css in the specified directory, any directory. The path should be written in written in the path should be inside the body tag using link command, link commands command inside the body tag, but style sheet, these are the format, style sheet, then you have to refer the path of the styles, style sheet, these are the format. We will do one thing, we will go inside the body tag. I'm just deleting here for some purpose. I will use, we will do one thing, we will go inside the h1 first, h1 tag, I write first paragraph, and I'm just closing the h1, and I'm writing the paragraph. What is the paragraph? The content of the paragraph. This is the first paragraph. You have to close the tag P. Okay. Now I'm going to write one more paragraph also. I'm just copying the same thing. You have to close the tag. I just copy here. I'm just make it a second paragraph. Second paragraph. I just copy here. I'm just make it. Why I'm typing this much? You must learn how to write the HTML syntax. Second paragraph. Okay, everything is good now. Why I'm typing this much? I have written first paragraph here using h1, and the content will be inside the p tag. So I'm using h1 tag for the title, and p is for the paragraph, and the second paragraph also I have written, and second paragraph content also written. I'm just saving it. I'm just running here. You see the first paragraph and the content of the first paragraph, and second paragraph and the content of the second paragraph is appearing nicely. Okay, now this is for we are done only for HTML. So I need to supply some command to make it colorful. No, so using CSS cascading style sheet. I have written first paragraph here using h1, and the content will be inside the p tag. So I'm using h1 tag for the title and p. So we have to use CSS some commands. So we have to use, first we will move on to the inline method. Okay, in inline method you have to use the CSS property inside the h1 tag or p tag or div tag. So I'm writing here h1 tag inside. I'm writing this CSS command style equal to. First we will move on to the inline method. Okay, in inline method you have to use a syntax color. I say blue. Okay, so style equal to within quotes, double quotes, color is blue. I'm defining here. I'm just simply say a syntax color. If this, I'm just running it, it will become blue. If I say red, I'm just saving it and it become red. If this, I'm just running it, it will become this tag also in second paragraph, So simply save it and both will be red in color. The title will become red. Okay. Similarly, you could do it for paragraph. Color violet. Okay. Okay, I'm just saving it. I'm just running it. You see, it become violet in color. Okay. Color violet. Another method called internal method. Go to the head tag. You use style. Use style and write p. That is p tag. You want to first we'll do one thing h1. H1 you want it as color must be color green and use semicolon here. This is the format. So all H1 will be, I remove this. You can do only one place, right? So instead of writing here, I'm writing here. So here you have to use 2 times, you have to write here. Here simply you say centrally in the head, within the head tag, you write H1 only 1 time, and wherever H1 comes, that style will be changed. You use style. Use style and write P. That is P tag. You want to, so there is no CSS command inside the body. Only I have written here. This is using internal method. Internal method, you have to use the style tag within the head tag. So within the head tag, I have written style tag, and in which I have written H1 color equal to green. What headings only change. This one rest, this first paragraph, second paragraph will be, the content will be in black color. We'll see that. By default, black color. Just run it. See, it becomes green. Headings become green and the content is become black color. So there is no CSS command inside the body. Only I have written here. This is using internal method. Internal method, you have to use this type. So you want a content, wanted to have this color red. Just save this and you see it become red. So within the style command, I have used internal method. This CSS property is given. Okay. So this is internal method. One more method is there, external method. I'm just generating this. Just copy. I have copy of this. Control X. Okay. And I'm removing this style also. One file. I will create one file called styles.css that will be placed in the path. And I inside the body tag. I will be writing this command. That is link command. Okay. One file. I will create one file called styles.css that will be writing this link command. And link I have written this. This is actually style sheet. REL is relation. This is style sheet. Okay. And href equal to the path in which the styles.css is stored. Okay. Now I have to create styles.css in which I have to write the CSS command. First I will save this and this will go off. You see it become all black. Now what I do is I will open edit styles.css. I will open p tag color red. I have to use semicolon. Then h1 tag, p tag. I'm just saving it. Save. The file is, these commands are written in this styles.css. I'm just exiting. Again, opening the HTML file. Okay. Now you see I have written here REL equal to style sheet, and this is a format you have to write exactly like this. This link should be given inside the body tag, and href equal to this path is given. In this path I have written one styles.css. Inside that I have written this styles, that is actually CSS command. Okay. Now I'm just running it. You see the color is changed. I have not written anything here. I have written it in separate file that is called external method. Now welcome back to the second part of the first day CSS3. We are going to now welcome this selector first. So selector, the 5 selectors are there. First is element selector, second is ID selector, third is class selector, fourth is grouping selector, fifth is universal selector. These selector first. So selector, the 5. See what is element selector? Element selector, you know the tag, in the HTML p tag is there, h1 tag is there, div tag is there, x2 tag is there, x3 tag is there. So there are certain tags in which the HTML document is formed. Okay. Using the tag straight away in CSS. In the property, if you want to make it color, you use P, then you use color. See here, for example, for this style I'm using straight away. I want to make it the paragraph colorful. I use the tag, p tag straight away. Color navy blue. So this is the element selector. I'm simply saving it. You see here, I have to close the style, otherwise it will not appear. Okay, now you see the p tag all will become navy blue. Okay, I'll make it as red now. Navy blue and black also, like similar, you cannot distinguish. I say this will become red. So all the paragraph become saved it become red. So these two paragraph become red due to I have written using element selector. Element selector in the styles p. This is element selector. Okay, this is one method. ID selector is there. ID selector is nothing but instead of using this element, I remove this element. I'm giving here h1. Inside the h1, I'm giving instead of style id equal to main, title. Okay, I'm just giving one id. Okay, I'm giving one id for this h1 tag, right? Id equal to main title, and here within the style I'm going to use as symbol main title, and I will start color green. Okay, I'm just saving here. I'm just running here. You see the first paragraph only become green. Here you see why I have written only the CSS command inside the h1 only. This h1 only. id equal to main title. It will not reflecting this h1. Correct. Why? I have not given any id here. So when you want to give separate color for h1, you can use id type, that is id selector. Okay, if you want to give commonly all the h1 in same color, use the element selector. This is the difference between the element selector and the id selector. Instead of giving commonly, you can give individual id name. Whatever type name you give, it will become that id. I'm just say main, and here I'm using main only. See, it works. See it works. Okay, next we will move on to the what is class selector. See, you remember when you use id, you should use as prefix to the id name. Correct. Okay, now we'll move on to the third class selector. Here the same example we'll see. Instead of id, I will give you class. Same thing, main. Okay, I'll give main, and here instead of as, I'm going to give dot, and here I am going to give red color, some red color. I'm just saving it. I'm just running it. See, red color. So id class both are defined like id equal to this or class equal to this. But when you refer to inside the style, you should use either as or dot. As symbol for id selector and dot symbol for class selector. That is the distinguish between these two selectors. Now, this is clear, I hope so. Okay, we'll move on to the fourth one, grouping selector. Okay, I have one x2 here, and similarly I have one more paragraph. This is x3. Okay, this is the third paragraph. I'm just running here. You see, the first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph. You can see that this heading is different size, second heading is different size, third heading is in different size. That is becoming smaller. So there are h1, h2, h3. When you use H1, that will be the highest heading font, and H2 is little small when compared to H1, and H3 is become this. Even you have H4, it become little smaller. See, smaller. So here you will be using different head. Okay, why this is red? I am using class here. Now I just remove it. Now I remove it. Now I say file save. I'm just running here. So all become black. So this is H1, this is H2, this is H3. Okay. Now what I do is I'm going to have grouping selector. So here within the style, instead of writing dot main or something else, you write straight away like element selector, like H1, comma H2, comma H4. All should be in red color. All titles should be in red color, like that. Just save and see run. These paragraph H1, H2, H4 all are in red color. See, what is element selector? Element selector, you know the tag, no? In the HTML, P tag is there, H1 tag is there, div tag is there, X2 tag is there, X3 tag is there. So there are certain tags in which the HTML document is formed. Okay, using the tag straight away in CSS. In the property, if you want to make it color, you use P, then you use color. See here, for example, for this style, I'm using straight away. I want to make it the paragraph colorful. I use the tag, P tag straight away. Color navy blue. So this is the element selector. I'm simply saving it. You see here, I have to close this style, otherwise it will not appear. Okay, now you see the P tag all will become navy blue. Okay, I'll make it as red now. Navy blue and black also, like similar, you cannot distinguish. I say this will become red. So all the paragraph become saved it become red. So these two paragraph become red due to I have written using element selector. Element selector in the styles P. This is element selector. Okay, this is one method. Universal selector using asterisk. Asterisk is nothing but you are going to give margin, padding, all. Universal selector using margin 0, padding. This margin padding I will define you in the next class. Just simply this here concept is universal selector, you have to use star. Now I say save. Now you see 0, margin 0, padding 0, all become very closer to this. So if I give margin 10, what will happen? So I am running it. See, margin 10. It is applicable for all the item. Commonly for H1, P, H2, all together you see common. Now I say save. Now you see 0, margin 0. You know, already we have started up Gen AI series and Google Map and API series, and we are going to start up a daily project series also for hackathon purposes. Students may involve into the hackathon. They love this daily project series, and we are going to start up full stack and IT stack series. That is actually the stacks like MERN, Mean and Python backend to make you job ready to start up ready. So if you are so serious about learning and building and real projects, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon and follow the series 8.